Hello, hello. It's an exciting day, everybody. We're here for some Elden Ring Nightreign. Let me check that the stream is up and everything is normal. Because as I'll explain in a second. Alright, looks like the stream is up. My immediate warning is that I might experience an OBS crash. I just rebuilt a little bit of my PC right before starting up Elden Ring Nightreign. You may ask, why would I wait until right about it when I'm going to play the game to do that? Well, that's a fair question. But I swapped out the motherboard and CPU for a new one, and then all sorts of auxiliary issues I had to deal with. But things are up and running now. I don't think there's going to be any really performance boost to my increased system. It was mostly just to get something that was supported by Windows 11. I can talk more about it later. But I noticed that OBS crashed a few times on me. I had to reinstall some of the plugins for interacting with my camera. And so I'm hoping it's stable, but no guarantees. I'll try and adjust and come back to OBS and restart the stream if it drops. So just keep an eye out for that. So let me switch over to the game now. And I have not played this yet. I loaded it up for 2 seconds to inspect the video settings for getting the right resolution for OBS. I noticed that it kind of detected the quality settings to basically high on things, which from my experience with Elden Ring, since this is the Elden Ring code base and assets, so I expect roughly the same graphical capabilities of my system to be at play here, even though I just changed the CPU. That shouldn't really factor into this. So I might adjust a few things here or there as we go on, but it auto detected things on high to start with. And I can probably go a little higher than that for certain things, but I think we're okay as we are for now. I adjusted the audio settings to turn down the music since I knew I'd be talking over the intro a little bit, but again, I can change that later. So I followed along with the promotional materials for the game a bit. So I'm aware of the concept that Elden Ring Nightreign has. And for those who don't know, I'm a Elden Ring fan. It was my first Souls game, and so I wasn't a streamer at the time, so it's not recorded anywhere, kind of thankfully, because I was a disaster at it. But I really grew to like it and eventually became good, and I've played a lot. And went back and played Dark Souls 1, so I have a little bit more Souls experience in general. And I'm aware that this game is not following in line with the Souls series. It's sort of an offshoot type of game, and I'm aware that it's cooperative, go out and do some combat with two guys or two buddies, and there's some kind of pre-canned characters that you start with, and you evolve them a little bit, but not the same way as you would a full RPG. So I have a little bit of familiarity with what Nightreign is, and a good amount of familiarity with core Souls combat and Elden Ring combat. And so I'm really looking forward to taking that combat system and then the environment and everything else and going this new direction with it and seeing how fun it is to play with other people and just go, gang up on some enemies and run around. Alright, we'll keep things as they are right now. Looks okay. Yeah, everything as is should be good. I don't think I changed any of these for Elden Ring, so... Oh, a player name, so... And it can be changed at any time, which is good to know. Alright, so I'm guessing that there's going to be a Steam pop-up to edit the name here. Maybe because I'm not in full screen mode. What a mess. It's okay. I got a keyboard here. This should work. Hello, hello. Thanks for joining the stream. We'll go with CoKo for now. Thank you very much. Let's see what this game is all about. Alright, some kind of warrior running through. Made it past that barrier, I guess. I'm guessing that's of importance. As always, awesome armor design. Yeah, it's a cool shield. Really? So we got an It's Raining pose. Oh no, because I touched my keyboard, it thinks that I want to use my keyboard. So it's giving me the keyboard pop-ups. I knew that was going to happen. Alright, but, you know, I can use my knowledge from Elden Ring to kind of what's the word? Coordinate, sure. Alright, so, you know, definitely as expected, you know, Elden Ring, base platform and assets with some adjustments, of course. So, I don't know if we're literally in the lands between, but we got a Marika statue. Let me unplug my controller back in. It is acting funky. As I mentioned, I recently, like just today, rebuilt some elements of my PC, so there might be some issues. Okay. Yeah, that's a Marika statue, I think. Intriguing. Alright, so light attack, heavy attack. Whoa. Buckler parry. And stamp. Interesting, so... Okay, I see what it's doing. It's just presenting things a little bit differently than Elden Ring did, where your left-hand armament that has a skill associated with it takes priority. So basically all I'm doing is unequipping the shield, and it's just showing me now that a new skill has taken priority. This is just a different way of representing the same information. But I think it should work the same way. My controller is still acting funny. Alright, we got similar roll and backstep stuff. What's this? Jump. Meta button. What do you do? Alright, healing flask. That's cool. Okay, I don't have anything for whatever the middle thing is. And I'm not quite sure what the icons on the bottom represent just yet. Top left, we got health, mana, and stamina. And then 5 in kind of like the Elden Ring runes symbol-ish. I don't know what the 5 means, but maybe that's my level. And then kind of a runes thing in the top right. Yeah, there is something up with my controller. It's because I rebuilt my PC, I think. USB ports. Notice how I stopped running? Like, I'm just holding the run button and forward, but the input is dropping. Yeah, that's not going to be something I can play with if the input is dropping that frequently. I might have to try a different USB port and just hope it's better. Yeah, it's still seizing up every so often. That's really frustrating. But it's my fault for rebuilding my PC right before I started a new game. Alright, let me try swapping it to a different USB port. Sorry, I bumped my mic. Okay, let's see if this is better. Nope. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to be able to really play effectively if my controller is acting up this much. So I could try Bluetooth, but I've never done that before. Let me give it a shot. Apologize for all the setup time, but it had to happen at some point. I'm using the same cable as before, and I don't think the data transfer rate of USB is a factor in the controller. I mean, we're not like transferring large amounts of storage here. We're transferring like, you know, pretty trivial amounts of input information. So it's got to be something else that's causing it to have issues. But I'm gonna see if maybe Bluetooth works better. I'm using the same controller on Switch. That's funny. my Switch keeps stealing the Bluetooth. Alright, let's fully turn the Switch off for now. And let's try and do Bluetooth pairing again. And this time get it on my PC. Yeah, for whatever reason, I can't get pairing to happen. I had to install drivers for the Bluetooth device, but I do see other devices here, so looks like the hardware aspect of this is working. Okay. I have been able to finally pair the controller via Bluetooth. In the past, I've avoided using Bluetooth for my mouse, keyboard, and controller because like the latency is sometimes noticeable. So I got everything tethered when it comes to gaming, pretty much everything really. But given that this is a brand new Bluetooth receiver, and because of the way I was setting up my system, I got it like right next to me. So I might actually have decent performance with it. Okay. At the very least, it's not interrupting my forward press. That time it was just because I, was turning. Okay, this is at least good enough to like get started with. I'm gonna have to figure out my issues with my new system at some point. I don't want to rely on Bluetooth forever, so I gotta figure out what's going on with my USB devices. Okay, so I ventured out beyond the Ring of Fire and died. So that's going to teach me something. Near death. Losing all HP will put the player in a near-death state. Okay. So the only action a near-death character can execute is movement. And near-death character does not have long to live. So I'm guessing this is relevant when you're playing with others, that, you know, if you die, so if you're in a near-death state, you're still there and can move, and you probably require assistance to be brought back. In this case, I'm in like the tutorial, so... Oh, and you can like barely move. You can crawl. Oh. I died. Alright. A character revives nearby at a cost of 1 level. Ooh, so I dropped from 5 to 4. I wonder how many streamers can boast that claim. Alright, characters' runes, including runes for the lost level. Ah, okay, you can get them back. Nearby foes sometimes snatch up dropped runes. That's a fun mechanic. So you gotta, like, defeat them. Okay. I lost a level, but hopefully I'll recover it. Let's see. Oh no, it's outside the ring. I don't like that, because if I go out there, I die. Whew, okay, so it depleted my health in like a chunk, but I got the chunk back. I got the runes back, and the runes are like what I'm imagining to be the equivalent of the level that I lost. So 16,978, because I was at 0, obviously. I had just started the game. So conceivably, if I had a way to level up right now, I could get back to level 5. I know the path I'm supposed to follow. I'm not an idiot. I'm just enjoying, like, you know, inspecting things. And, like, you know, learning things in this kind of non-traditional way is kind of fun, too. So I'm not going to go back outside the ring. I'm just going to see what else is around. When I'm playing with other players, like, there's some onus to be a good teammate. And so I'm kind of, like, relishing the time I have solo. Until I get to that point where I feel like I'm rushed and, you know, don't have the time to just run around and learn things. So I'm semi-intentionally just, like, taking my time, figuring out things, exploring, see what's around. Alright, so setting a target, we know that, and then pressing to unlock, and then using our change target, same as before. And then same controls. Let's try out some stuff. Should we parry? Too late. Let's go again. That delay. Don't push me. My controller is still acting a little funny, actually. Alright, I was never really good at parrying in Elden Ring anyway. Alright, so the meter at the bottom is filling. What does it look like? I'm really not sure. Yeah, definitely some issues with my input, and I'm not totally sure if it's like, you know, the transmission layer like Bluetooth or USB. It might be within the game, because there's certain moments where it tends to happen when I like change direction, and like that, and the character freezes for a little bit. That was definitely not the case in Elden Ring. So unless that's a mutation, like alright. Using the map, every area has a number of key locations. Key locations may be protected by enemies or traps, but they often house equipment and runes. While exploring the field, use the map to track key locations, which can offer a great boost to character power. Sure. Use the map menu to check the locations of allies and learn about key locations. Freely place pins to serve as landmarks for exploration or to share locations between allies. Yeah, shared pins is a great idea. So the detail view shows additional information. So you press R, the right stick, to place a destination pin. So it's understandably, it's a more restrictive map system than an Elden Ring. You don't need a million beacons. You just need like two concepts. One is to place a pin, and the other is to view details. Oh wow, and it also displays a little differently. This is nice. So that is the thing of interest. Where am I though? Oh, that's me. Okay, that is me. And that's the ring around me. Alright, so if I press details, let's CoKo's pin over there. We can follow my own pin. Oh, interesting. You gonna parry or what? There we go. I couldn't do a follow-up. What was the deal with that? Why couldn't I do a follow-up? That's not where I said the map pin. That's the other location, right? Or something. Yeah. So the place where I put my map pin is the church where we started at. Oh, nice. I like how they added the little player indicator arrow there. Otherwise, the beacon is the same. Alright, let's instead put a beacon here, which is where we're going to. Did I miss anything on the road? Yeah, I'm interested as to why I didn't get a follow-up opportunity for the parry. I don't know if it's because of my input being buggy or some mechanic thing. But the other thing I noticed was... Yeah. So there's no sneak. It's now a sprint. And I actually ran into one of the guys. We gotta do a perimeter sweep. I'm looking forward to the co-op aspect of this game, but one of the things that's nice about solo games is like you can take your time, doing like perimeter sweeps and taking things slowly the way I like to. What the heck? Oh my god, that is a terrible position to be stuck in. Yeah, I mean, they look like like when they succumb to Frenzy Flame and they do like a Madness Burst. That's what that resembles. So yeah, I saw in like the trailers that there was like a wall jump ability. Yeah, so that's cool. Can I maybe use it here? Might be kind of tricky. Oops. Can I like infinitely jump off walls? Or just like once? I think it's like once, but I happened to find a little lip there where I was able to stabilize. Let's try to see if I can get this. Alright, try not to run too much to the left. Movement does feel a little different. I don't think it's just my input mechanisms. Hey, actually, I don't think I needed the double jump. I think he did like a pull-up mechanic. That's new, right? Yeah, he did. That's new to Elden Ring. I actually don't really like those in games that much. Alright, well, nothing up here. Alright, I'll just run. Alright, don't use stamina when I run. Similar to Elden Ring, it might be that stamina is only engaged when you're being targeted by a combative foe. What's this? Is this goodies? Moth flew by my face. Okay. So they're going to teach me to use the wall jump to jump over these barricades. That's good. This guy's shooting at me, though. Oh, so it's not a double... It's not a second jump. It's using L. Alright, same controls as before. Ooh, can I do a dodge counter? Yep. I see what it is. It is a different system. I'm going to try and parry him again. Maybe not. So what I thought I observed when I did the dodge counter and broke his poise was that I was locked in place, and then I hit attack and got the crit. And so for a second, I thought that maybe the mechanism was that after you know, like get a poise break or something special, you can't move. You just do whatever follow up you want. It's kind of like a slightly different combat mechanic, but I'm not sure that's correct because the second time when I got the parry, I was able to move. Hey, hey, cool it. Fine. Sprint Surge. Yeah, so you can do that all you want. I'm guessing if you're engaged, it'll deplete stamina. Otherwise, they wouldn't call it a surge. Or no, maybe not. Maybe sprint is hold X. And then sprint surge is the button. Yeah, that's probably it. Let's try this jump thing. So I gotta press forward. Yeah. Can I do like right or left? Not really. Alright, so it just kind of happens automatically when you know, jump into something like this. That's cool. And so can I keep doing it? Let's try like a flat wall. Okay. Wall jump. Well, I had the right idea of testing it out here. All right, after jumping, jump again while facing a wall to perform a wall jump. Oh, so you do have to jump again. Ah, okay, so that's why I wasn't able to do different directions, because I wasn't pressing a second jump. So let's try jumping away from the wall. I got caught in the climb animation. Let's just jump up there first. They want me to do that. Cool, yeah, so you can like wall jump off a wall. And it's the case that like for navigation purposes, you could probably just, you know, mash the jump button and make your way up obstacles like this. Yeah, eventually I'm going to get used to just running around like this. Alright, so I'm guessing I can't just jump my way up this. Wait, I'm near death? Why am I near death? Oh, that's somebody else. Okay, they're introducing the concept of teammates. And I accidentally triggered it by kind of going over there. That probably wasn't intended to be put just yet. I'm probably supposed to be inside. Oh, that guy's gonna die, right? If I don't get there, like, within some time frame. Uh-oh. Alright, so skills. Yep. Left trigger uses a skill. Okay, so same controls to two-hand. If I just remove my shield, it does in two-hand. Anything good under here? Hold on, buddy. I'm going through the tutorial. I couldn't interrupt his movement. Some good hyper armor for him. What? I don't know why I pushed that. That's what I wanted to do. I did it again. Alright, we found some treasure. Yay. Hey, Rogier's rapier. Nice. And so attack 89. Now it's got a green arrow up that probably indicates that it's better than my current weapon. And repeating thrust is its ability. And multiple periodical glint blades. Don't know what that means. So if you press Y, you pick it up. If you hold Y, I don't know. Y and down pin? No, I didn't want to do that. Interesting. Okay, so there's a shortcut key to place a map pin, and you're allowed to do the shortcut to place the map pin. I don't know if it. I'll test it if it's any time, but they suggested here because this might be something you want to pin for somebody else to come get. So let's pick up the item. Rarity. All acquired equipment has a rarity and a passive effect. Items of higher rarity are of higher quality. So I'm guessing that's what the number was. The 86 or whatever. At lower player levels, some equipment has greatly reduced effectiveness. Passive effects are active. So the passive effect was that other thing, like the periodic glintstone thing. Passive effects are active while an item is in one's possession, and the passive effects of multiple items stack, with some exceptions. Learn about acquired equipment from the equipment menu. Oh, so like the full menu is probably gone. Yeah, so just an equipment menu. Ah, that's fun. I like that. So use the equipment menu to check equipment in one's possession, switch equipment between left and right hands, or leave equipment behind. And A does the switch, X does the discard. So they kind of streamlined it. So as if you're playing like, I don't know, Diablo or something, where you want to pick up and act on what you just picked up really quickly and just keep moving with your party. So Wilder's great sword is what I got. I wonder who Wilder is. Okay, so attack. So the number was attack, not so much the rarity, unless they're one and the same. So I guess, you know, we're going to do Rogier's rapier. And it was A to switch. And you have fixed, so you don't have an inventory to pick from as distinct from like stuff you carry. Everything you carry is all you can carry. So you don't have like a chest or whatever to put stuff in. So that's why discard is such a prominent action, because once you pick up a third weapon, after you pick up the next one, you got to decide which of them to keep. So keeps it simple. So 3 weapons, 3 secondary armaments like shields or bows, 2 talisman, maybe? Yeah, that's the icon. And then 4 items, it looks like, I think. Okay, and then there's status. This is a little bit more than just equipment in the main menu. So my special effect is the multiple periodic glint blades. And I don't have relics. 3 relic slots. Okay. Swap screen. Effect details. Yes, please. Creates glint blades, which automatically attack nearby foes at regular intervals. Okay. So you don't got to cast it like it was glint blade phalanx or something. It's a passive effect that just will automatically do it. So, you know, this game is streamlining a lot of things to focus on the speed and cooperative element. So that's going to be fun, I think. And system settings, yeah, we don't really need to look through those right now. Map, let's try that map pin thing. Ooh, and we got Lord Sworn's Fire Straight Sword. It's got Flaming Strike. And defeating enemies restores HP. Well, howdy doody. Are they going to give me another armament to, like, teach me how to discard stuff? Probably. Yeah, I definitely triggered the tutorial for a fallen ally too early. But it seems like I kind of got lucky and that it's not going to matter. Alright, let's pull up the equipment menu again. Oh, those are my... okay. My camera is blocking the icon for what the Y button does, which is gestures. But let's play with those since we're here. Let's add one to favorites. Let's point forward. That's probably a good one to have in favorites. Once I do that, where does it show up? I don't know. Oh! Hey, you can get the glintstone phalanx. Oh, geez, my input is really wonky. And then switch to another weapon, so that's cool. I'm gonna add one of these to favorites. Okay, I was hoping that was the case. I thought favorites at first might display somewhere else, like a flat list from the menu. But it looks like it just sorts them at the top, so they're quick access, which is effectively the same thing. And point forwards just so happens to be the first one in the list anyway. Alright, so we might want to wave. And nod in thought, sure. If we don't know what to do next. And sure, my thanks, okay. So let's see. There we go. So let's see how quickly you can do these gestures. Or maybe like you use the rolling motion of the controller. Maybe not. Still not too bad. It's 3 buttons though. 1, 2, 3. Hey. I figured they would streamline that even more. Just because of how frequently you might want to communicate with gestures. I was hoping somewhere here. There would be a way to level up. I guess that happens between sessions. Nice. Hey. What happened to my swords? Alright, character skills are special abilities unique to each player character. Each character executes their skill with a special action that can only be repeated after a period of cooldown. The Wilder skill, so I guess that's my character, which is why the weapon is named after them, is Claw Shot. Launch a grappling claw to rope in foes. So Y plus left trigger. So weapon skill is just left trigger. And then character skill is Y and left trigger. That makes some sense. I think that's probably going to work. Alright, let's rope you in. I'm afraid Glintblade Phalanx is going to destroy you before I get the chance. No. Y and that. Nice. And I got the passive HP restore ability. That's nice. How far does that distance work? Pretty far. Like it targeted him and it almost went that all the way there. Oh, there's a cooldown. I was trying to get a backstab in there. I don't know if that's a thing. Yeah, the grappling ability is pretty cool. Alright, so it doesn't show up when I press the down button, so that's got to be something else. Okay. We got lightning grease. Ah, that's what it's going to be down. Come on, parry. Oops. I did not mean to use it. Because the controls disappeared, I didn't fully read them. So this is actually the same like animation for items that you drop in Elden Ring when you're playing online with other players. That little like blue spirit looking version. I always thought that was hard to see, which is the case I think here. Okay, so down cycles you through the item. So it's kind of like a streamlined version of the equipment belt in Elden Ring. So you just press down to switch between stuff and up to use the item, and then X is remains a dedicated heal. Cool. Alright, can I level up here? Alright, so all you gotta do is pass through them. I don't know what the Sacred Flask is yet. Yeah, so this is what I was hoping for. Alright, spend runes to level up on the level up menu. Each additional level boosts numerous stats. Each character's stats rise at different rates. The higher the level, the more runes required to level up. Okay. So I should be able to get to 5, because, yeah. And I can get to 6. Stuff goes up. I gotta imagine there's a level of indirection here where like attack power of the character is going up, which is affecting the damage done by the armaments, not like the armaments themselves are being leveled up. But I'm willing to consider that I might be wrong about that. And maybe it is actually the armaments themselves that are leveling up with you. We'll find out. Alright, so I need a bit more for the next level. So that's all you can do. So what is a sacred flask? I guess that's the thing I drink from. Is yeah, top left. It's got three uses. So that's what's being refilled. I don't have to interact with the Site of Grace for that. Interacting with it is only for leveling up. So you don't explicitly refill FP. That's interesting. Alright, made it through here. That's fun. I still didn't learn... Oh, you know what? The bottom thing is the grappling hook. That's what that, like, artwork is indicating. Yeah. They both look like a grappling hook. Huh. Okay, so switching pin just cycles between the pins. The other thing I wanted to check was, yeah, let me pop the map menu back up and remove my pin. And I want to see if that Y plus whatever it was, R down? No. Okay, so I was right that it's only a shortcut when you're at, like, interesting locations like a chest. Alright, so there's my buddy. Now I'm going to get to learn how to revive. So rescuing from near death. When a character's HP is fully depleted, they will enter a near-death state. That happened to me. They will be unable to perform any actions other than basic movement and do not have long to live. The near-death gauge appears when a character enters this state. Attacking will deplete the gauge and revive the ally. Yeah, it's an interesting system. Like, yeah, you... Not, I don't want to call it button mashing, but like with a game that moves at the pace of a co-op battle royale, you're streamlining controls, you're removing mechanics, and getting to the point where players mostly interact with a couple things to make progress. And so rather than have a different mechanic for rescuing a player, just use your attack. I mean, it makes sense. Alright, the near-death gauge is extended by each brush with death, but an extended near-death gauge shortens while the character remains alive. So passing through Site of Grace will reset the gauge. I'm not totally clear on exactly what that means, but I'll find out. Hey, buddy. Need some help? Can I lock on while you're... Yeah, I can lock on while you're in this state. Gotcha. You're freed. Should I follow you? Lead the way. We're gonna fight a boss.
I have thee now.
I was getting out of the way. Sort of a Margit type enemy. Yeah, it's called the Fell Omen. That was too far away. I was a little too caught in the animation. It wasn't quick enough. So we're both in this state, which is probably bad for us. They lasted longer. They're that was the thing that... Oh no. Anyway, well, we've already dealt with this before. We'll do it again. Alright, where's my buddy? Buddy? Check the map. Are you still like... Yeah, okay.
Pluck, thou hast. For thou art in reach.
What is happening?
My sword!
Ultimate arts. Okay, so that's the two things on the bottom. One was the grappling hook, which is my character ability, I'm pretty sure. Ultimate art, I'm guessing, is the other one. And that's Y plus right trigger. So the one that's full now is the ultimate art? Onslaught snake. Dang. Yeah, so it was the one on the right. That delay. See, you're not Margit. You're a different enemy. And the differences in the moveset is problematic for me. I would really love my buddy. I think that character I saw her in the oh, I died again. So a second death is like permanent?
Long, long ago.
This looks familiar.
The lands between were visited by a great war.
I mean, could be the Shattering, but could not be. It's definitely vague.
The Shattering,
Ah.
as it was known, destroyed order itself.
Yeah, we saw the consequences of that.
Drawing forth in time an abomination.
Oh, interesting.
Thus fell upon us the night.
Wow, look at that. Different artwork than Elden Ring, but similarly beautiful.
Now heavy rains harry the region, threatening to wash away its very history. The Night Lord does not rest.
Night Lord.
As it ravages the lands between beyond recognition. But there are those who would fight back. The Nightfarers.
Nightfarers. So these are the different characters that I saw some of in the introduction
Brought
videos.
together by happenstance, their commonalities are but few. No shared station,
that's
era,
nice artwork.
or even purpose. Yet together, they are bound by a will.
No surprise that a Souls
To
game
cross the endless night and fight on.
would wrap the idea that there's no story into the story.
Till every shred of their being is ground away.
Like, these characters don't have a backstory. They're just teaming up to fight a Night Lord. That's all you need to know.
Alas, the curtain may be drawing to a close upon this world.
Round table hold. So we don't quite know when this might be set, but perhaps this was an event that happened, before the journey of the Tarnished in Elden Ring, a threat that rose as a result of the Shattering. That by the time the Tarnished got there, and that whole ordeal, that threat had been removed by the actions we undertake in this game. Look how dope that armor is. Clothing.
You are awake. I know not why, but once again it has happened.
Same voice actor as the intro?
So be it.
Maybe?
Condemned, I welcome you to the Round Table Hold.
Whoa. Looks a little different.
I am the priestess, the voice of your formless master. You were chosen for your potential to vanquish the night.
My formless master.
The Night Lord is a living cataclysm, bent on laying waste to the very land that anchors us. Unless we bring its end, our world will be undone. And for this, I need your help.
The Shrouded Round Table Hold. Alright, Round Table Hold is a nexus for launching expeditions. Travel to the lands between from the Great Site of Grace. Change characters. Conduct relic rites. And otherwise prepare for expeditions. So change characters is the pre-canned characters. I did see somewhere that like upgrades you make will persist. So you could probably, like swap between them and level them up independently of each other and also start to customize them a little bit, which I think is a great idea. Alright, conduct relic rites. I'm not quite sure what those are yet. And otherwise prepare for expeditions. Expeditions, I'm guessing, is, the co-op sessions with peoples. Use the Round Table Hold menu to travel directly to a facility of interest. Okay. So when you're in the round table, you get a unique menu. Alright, so holding Y, I'm guessing, is the pin thing. So when you interact with the character, you get the same option. Maybe not. Let's try... Oh, no, those are just different options in the Round Table Hold, I think, maybe. Alright, let's check out the menu real quick. So that's the character menu, so it's the map menu. And how do we... Trigger is the zoom. Alright, so there's expeditions, there's character selection, there's relic rites, there's visual codex. That's cute. Kind of putting the help information within the round table as if it were like scrolls. Journal. Small jar bazaar. Buying items, I guess. Garden, don't know what that is. Sure, don't know what that is. Waiting room. I guess something related to the mechanics of going on expeditions. And sparring grounds, I guess testing out stuff. That's a good idea. Cool, so if I pressed A, like I'd go to it right away. But let's talk to the priestess.
This is a hidden refuge, a place where warriors gather. Rest assured, though it is in disrepair, you will be safe here. We even have a caretaker. He might strike you as odd, but he is worthy of trust. Speak to him, if you please.
I will. I love the colors. Okay, so Shrouded Round Table Hold. Yeah, it's definitely a little different. So I think this is where the two fingers would have been. Yeah. Yep, that all lines up. Fireplace over there. It's not a fireplace here. And then, you know, Corin is standing here where this guy is. That's a statue. Oh, no. It's a character you can pick. Cool. As are you? No, I can talk to you. Okay. Cool. Perform relic rites. Okay. Let's talk to you again before you do more.
Speak as you wish.
Okay. Alright, what does our formless master have to say?
This message is for you.
Formless.
You will hear it often. Seekers of redemption. On the third night, this land will fall. Band together and prepare to claim the life of the Night Lord. That is all. Oh. Regrettably, I have no means to fight. It might strike you as presumptuous, but I am in need of your help all the same.
Happy to help. We gotta do it by the third night, or Night Lord wings.
Speak as you wish.
Okay.
I await your return.
Thank you. I do want to talk to that guy. So that's where Hugh would be. There's the jar. And this is where Fia is, but it leads out to more stuff. There's a lot to do here. This is really pretty. This is a cool space. Let's talk to the jar first. Small jar bazaar. Spend merc. So they're not runes, they're merc. To buy items at the small jar bazaar. Unless it's a different form of currency. Yeah, it's a different form of currency. It's runes for leveling up within an expedition. But it's merc for buying items between expeditions. So there's probably a relationship between the two. So they are permanent items. So you can buy gestures, very nice. Prattling pates, cool. And these effects. Let's see what options there are here. Fire pots in possession at start of expedition. Okay, so you start with some fire pots. Your starting argument deals magic damage. Cool. Lightning grease in possession. Okay. Yeah, that's a neat relationship. So these are permanent items, but they can have an effect where you start an expedition with extra stuff that is consumable during the expedition. Changes compatible armament skill to Sacred Blade. Nice. Improve critical hits. Throwing pot damage, knife damage. And something which you don't know yet. You gotta buy it first, then you find out. That's cool. That's exciting. I guess you don't want to talk to me, though. Is this your form of communication? Drawing yourself? Are you drawing gestures you want me to do? I don't know if I have that gesture. I'll check what you have, though. Alright, I don't think it's a gesture. They are different, though. I don't know if that difference has any meaning. I'm getting more accustomed to the idea that movement is actually different. Like, I'm not sure how much of it is my controller and how much is the game. Alright, another character to talk to. Whoa. Okay, so we went downstairs and into the arena where we fight, I forget his name. Victor's record. What? So the record of a warrior, oh, of like a, so maybe this is still an arena. And these are victors in this arena. I wouldn't doubt that people got this game. Like, I was going to play immediately upon launch, but, you know, my PC rebuild delayed me, unfortunately. But it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. There's already been, like, this level of combat here. Here's some pretty advanced weapons and things. It's the same name, though, right? Tricephalus? So it's just like... Because this is different characters in use. This is Iron Eye, using a bow, and some other stuff. So if Tricephalus is a player out in the real world, are they really the victor with every character? Is that what I'm seeing? I don't know. This is a second victory record for the same character. I wonder if, like, you can place a marker to challenge people here or something, and that's where the victor's sign shows up. I'm really not sure. Alright, so we should be back here. This is where Ensha normally hangs out. I think that's the Iron Eagle character. Sweet. So there's the sparring grounds. Change loadout settings, conditions for sparring. Right, so we can borrow weapons to mess with here. What the hell? Yeah, so Claw Shot is our character ability. Onslaught Strike is the, I forget the name of it, but the super special thing. And Sixth Sense must be like a passive ability. That icon has always been in the top left. So it's something that comes with the character. Cheat death a single time. I didn't know that's what I had. But that explains why when I was fighting the Fell Omen, I died as well as my companion. And they immediately disappeared from combat, whereas I came back and then died again. And then I was gone. So that explains that. So that's like that's just what comes with the character. So let's fight you. And let's try Y. Nice. That's a good little move. So this character resembles marionettes. Okay, so there's a backstab. That's what I wanted to confirm. Ah, that's what happened last time. I understand now. I think I was holding Y. Right. It says I got a refill, but I still had one. I don't get that. Alright, now let's try this thing now. Nope, I pressed the wrong button. Cool. I want to try running into them, see if that what that does. Hey, how come... Hold on a sec. Oh, this is weird. You immediately use stamina when you switch to run mode. But then you run. And the stamina comes back. That's interesting. I don't seem to knock him off anything either, which is something I thought I did to one of the guys. Okay, this is fun. How do I, like, disengage? Just, like, leave the circle? Alright, sparring settings. It seemed to work just by leaving the circle. Okay, you can change the level of you, which I guess influences the level of your opponent, maybe? Quick standard, restoration. Okay, so quick would be like, if you're not really, you know, like doing normal combat, you just want to try moves out. You don't want to wait for things. Just have everything refill really fast so you don't have to, like, actually deal with normal combat rules. Ultimate art. No limitations. That's fun. Infinite usage. That's fun. And then character guide. I got it. Oh, here's where I can try. So right now I have access to 6 characters. So Wilder is the starting one they gave us. Guardian has Steel Guard as the passive ability. Whirlwind, Wings of Salvation. So I think I remember some of the descriptions of them in the intro videos, and I think I remember Guardian, you know, being described as like a defensive-oriented character. All right, so we got like a Iron Eye is the name, not Iron Eagle. But Iron Eye does have Eagle Eye, so that makes it fun. And Raider. Yeah, Raider is like a tank character. And then there's the Recluse, who is magic. I kind of want to try that. Okay, so sorceries and incantations, equip a staff, sacred seal. It's interesting that they have both. If they're streamlining mechanics in this game, I kind of would have thought that, you know, magic would be merged into one magic system. But maybe they are effectively the same. They just have like different passive abilities and whatnot. Anyway. So each catalyst can cast 2 distinct spells. So that's how they do this, is that they, you know, the Sacred Steel might be a different set of 2 spells than a staff would. Alright, so when you get the catalyst equipped in the right hand, then you do right button and trigger for the 2 things. So, like, you know, regular and strong attack. Alright, so collecting affinity residues replenishes a FP. I don't know what affinity residues are. And then Magic Cocktail is the character ability, which is Y and L left trigger to... I'm guessing affinity residue has to do with something that the Recluse can do. Let's find out. Alright, Glintstone Pebble type spell. Glintstone Arc. And then nothing equipped, in which I get a kick. Oh, cool. They have different dodge animations. Let's see what this does. Alright, so affinity residue. I'm really not sure what that's doing. Okay. Okay. So do I have to do the... Let's get out of this for now. Oh, and they got like dummies if you don't want to actually engage a combat and just want to try stuff. That is effectively what I was trying to do. Alright, leave this as is for now because I want to try these things. So is that the... Yeah, okay, so that's an affinity residue, is that icon, and it appears over all of them. So if I do this, why can't I activate it? Eh? It's not doing anything. What was that about? So it worked. But it only works against the one. Alright, well, I mean, I don't need to, like, beat my head up over... Beat my head up. Alright. I'm not going to try every single thing here. I'll try them in-game. But I'll definitely eventually try everybody. If I, like, leave here as this character, what happens? I remain this character. You know, just from like kind of story purposes, let's say. Let's go back to Wilder. It just feels a little weird to have the first time I switch characters be through the combat simulator. Alright, so there you are, Mr. Forget your name. So what's up here? Nothing? Just the scenic place. Maybe this is where you warp to when you come in. It's interesting that the this like round table concept has a physical location with like an exterior. Okay, so we got the different characters, and the only person that we should be able to talk to other than them... Right, let's just look at this character selection menu. Okay, so talking to them is different from character selection. Talking will just talk. Alright, find out more about a character's background and unique skills by browsing the visual codex and utilizing the sparring grounds. Yeah, we did that already, actually, or part of it. So standard view is what? Just without that. Okay. So we did part of the tutorial with Wilder, and I wasn't too thrilled. I didn't really understand Recluse's affinity stuff. So the passive ability is discover affinity residues that can be collected. Aha. So that might be why it was hard to understand through the combat simulator, because that's a passive ability that when I'm actually in a what do they call it? Campaign, because I forget the word already. Enemies will be marked with that affinity, and so I can just like wander the landscape and collect FP from them effectively. So that's the passive ability. That's the solution to not having flasks for FP. Is you got the one character who's magic, who has this special ability to be able to continuously replenish magic. And the other characters who use it only for like skills and, you know, smaller amount of things, they probably get it only at like sites of grace and maybe the refill mechanic for defeating enemies. So I think I understand that a bit better now. So the idea is like you wander around and cast magic, but then like you see that affinity and you use the opportunity to recover. And the magic cocktail is the thing that does the collecting. And fire and affinity exploiting magic cocktail. So my initial question is, do you need to use the magic cocktail just to collect it to replenish FP? Or is it like an option where if you've got plenty of FP and you don't want to just collect it, you can leverage the affinity that's been presented to you as just an offensive skill? I'll find out, I guess. And then the ultimate art is, yeah. Okay, so it's not the affinity that they've been branded with. It's a blood sigil, which is different from the I guess, is different from the passive ability affinity. Okay, that probably makes some sense. And then it's not like executioner. It's like executor. Executor is a weird name, though. I mean, they still can execute on some concept, some vision, some goal. All right. I guess since we already leaned into the recluse, we can try her out, see how it works. And I want to see the menu. So we have an independent set of things. Independent level, I am assuming. Yeah, independent set of weapons and yeah, key items probably and relics probably too, maybe. Commence expedition. So now we can go around and talk to each of these characters just to get to know them. So talking to them isn't going to like change to them. That's just the character selection screen. And the journal. So each of your character has its own journal. Oh, okay. So this is the backstory. So each of these characters does have a backstory, and you're going to learn it as you play them, with some help from someone at the Round Table Hold. Cool. So let's look at... I might not take the time to read them all right now because I've been just kind of like doing this background stuff on stream. In fact, let me check that my stream is actually still running. I'm surprised OBS hasn't crashed. They are pretty short, though. So let's read the two characters we were. The Wilder departed from his faraway home, braving the sea of fog to reach Limveld. A nightfarer's forays wither the soul in cloud recollection, causing one night to bleed into the next. But of one thing he remained certain, that he must track down the Night Lord and bury it. And there was no choice. He repeated the words to himself, all the while clenching a precious object in his hand, a solitary earring, its counterpart long lost. Oh, that's cool. He's got one earring, and the counterpart, maybe we'll learn more about it. And the recluse... Though my fellows call me by the name of Recluse, mine origin is as one of many, a witch of the deep woods, kind of like a Rena. From mine seclusion amongst the trees, cause did I have to journey forth to Limveld, for I had mind to search for a certain something, coiled in shadow. Calling it coiled relates to her ability. Alright, cool. We'll read the others in time. What are these things? Like a pin board. I don't actually think I went back here earlier. Oh no, the dung eater. Oh sweet, a bed. Alright, so somewhere over here has to be like the whatever they call it, the visual codex information stuff, right? I would presume so. Yeah, movement feels different. Like I keep getting stuck. Like I turn and the character stops. And though I'm holding a direction on my left control stick, it doesn't do anything for a while. I'm starting to suspect now the flip side, which is that it's my my PC setup something. Because Elden Ring, like, it's not like it was like a Hyrule Warriors type of game where you have super free fast movement, but it was continuous. It wasn't herky-jerky like this feels. And I don't think that that's intended by the game design. I think it's just me experiencing it this way. It would feel really weird for them to drastically change the movement mechanics in this game, because they'd have to, you know, they started with the Elden Ring code base, so they would have had to make conscientious changes to input. Yeah, so I feel like some of my struggles I might resolve if I just fix my PC build. The fact that USB devices are having an issue is concerning to me. Because if there's like a hardware problem with the motherboard going to the USB devices that are on the back panel, then I'm in trouble. I really don't want to, like, you know, revert to another setup. Okay. Let's go talk to some characters. You're here. Let's talk to you. So, yeah, okay. Are you one of the characters that I can be? I don't think so.
I am always ready to fight.
Oh yeah, Guardian, right. You're the defensive character. Yeah, got it. I like your accent.
No matter how towering the beast we face, stand your ground and raise your shield. Be patient. Your window of opportunity will come.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like an Indian voice actor, they're trying to do like an Indian English accent, but some of the way they're pronouncing sounds resembles that accent.
I am always ready to fight. I can't believe it. Facing off against the night itself. If such is our fate, we must rise to the task. I am always ready to fight. I've trained with halberds before. No expert by any means, but I can hold my own.
That's what you got on your back?
I am always ready to fight.
Is this a cycle of...
I've trained with halberds before.
Okay.
No expert by any means, but I can hold my own.
Yeah, they'll all get more dialogue as I go through more expeditions.
No matter how towering the beast we face, stand your ground and
but they have some canned responses that they cycle.
Your window of opportunity will come.
I actually like that. You know, it kind of feels like they're advisors.
What is it? I will do my utmost to aid you. This message is for seekers of redemption. On the third night, this band together the life that is all.
Okay. Same as
regrettably, it might strike you as
same as before. All right, anybody in here? There's Jar. So you are the last one of the characters, the Executor. He paints a depiction of the Erd Tree. It does not yet look finished. So The executor does not like to talk. They are a quiet type. I'm guessing I'll get the same response. It does say he, so I guess we at least know their gender. That like tunnel effect of the canopy of the trees is so pretty. All right, so who are you? You're like a you're like a servant at the Round Table Hold.
Welcome to the Round Table Hold, brave champion. I am but a humble attendant.
Attendant.
Here to serve your needs. I am told that each of you has committed a grave misdeed. But I beg to differ.
I wasn't aware of that.
You aim to preserve this very land, and that is no small matter. Indeed, it is an ambition most worthy of praise. I've spruced up the facilities to make your stay as pleasant as possible. By all means, do make yourself at home. No task is too great or small, champion.
Okay. Let's ask about his appearance.
To know about me, I began as one among many. A single cog in a great machine of war.
That's funny terminology for a marionette to use.
To become proficient in the field of housekeeping. It did not proceed entirely as expected. I was tossed away, only to wake up here, where I began my domestic duties. Hardly the most riveting of tales, I'm afraid.
I'm certainly intrigued. Because you're different than the marionettes that we encountered in Elden Ring. And I think you're even different from the one in the combat simulator, but I'm not. I'd have to double check. He's got some appendages of bone at the bottom of his legs and arms, but then at least it looks like bone. But it might not be. It might be just a different material. But that is in stark contrast to his parts above that, which are very clearly like manufactured. Interesting.
No task is too... The arena of champions. The great lands between tremble in the grasp of the night. As the day wanes, this grip will only tighten. Beware the terror that is rain.
So, there's wordplay happening here. Nightreign, Reign, R-E-I-G-N, Reign of the Night, Night Lord, all that stuff. But then there's also the literal rain, R-A-I-N. And he's kind of using them interchangeably here.
Is there anything at all that you require? I'm as dexterous as a seamstress and strong as an ox. My work does, however, take some time. No task.
So you probably got a loop too.
Our battle will reveal is some manner of beast. When all roads lie sundered, and all hope is lost, only sacred power shall reveal the bridge to be crossed. Or so the saying goes. If you were to find this sacred power, the winds of war may very well shift in our favor.
Cool. I'll be speaking you to more some other time. I don't quite know who that is. And this one's broken. So this used to be something, maybe. This whole thing has a feel of like a continuously... Oh, wow. I like this angle of his painting. Like a building that's been built on top of for a long time. And... another character. Not like totally planned, like there's bits of earth that have covered, and grass and foliage have covered over fallen bits of previous layers of this thing, and then maybe they built on top of that. So you're
fight.
The dude, Wilder.
That beast, was that the Night Lord?
The one you fought? No. That was the Fell.
When do we fight? The night could swallow us at any moment. Don't expect me to show the fiends any mercy.
No, that's why we're doing this.
When do we fight? That beast, was that the...
That looks like a jump I could make. Hey, there you are, Iron Eye.
I think I'm good to go. You only need to land one good blow to punish a fleet-footed adversary. Be relentless. That's your best bet.
Hey, somebody with an American accent.
I think I'm good to go.
Kind of like a Batman voice, too.
A supremely vexing opponent indeed. I've had to face shifting targets before, but never a natural phenomenon.
Telling you, more games got to use the American accent. Or not strictly American, but just like, not everybody has to be recognizable British accents.
Of course.
Yeah, I like how you're hanging out here. Firing off into the distance. So we can get to this door with a wall jump. It's not actually a door. I don't think I've been over here. Okay, so I failed to find like the visual codex room. But let's see what's over here. I probably set a record for time spent in the game without starting an expedition. And like I'm kind of intentionally delaying it at this point because I'm nervous about my setup and my input. And the fact that, you know, there's other players who would be impacted by my struggles. Oh, this is so nice, so pretty. Incredible. So there's an icon on the, not icon, there's a, like a image on the front there. And that's definitely from the Lands Between. If I'm not mistaken, that was on Stormveil banners. So there might be some relationship between this backstory and the Stormlords, or Storm King, whatever they called that area of the Lands Between before Godric like took over. I think it was Storm King that Godfrey defeated before the Shattering Time as part of the conquest. There you go. Look at you go. You're just throwing giant rocks.
I can wait, but I only have so much patience.
What if my sword arm rusts?
Wouldn't want that.
A fine beast we're facing this time. Well, take it as a challenge.
Yeah, I think these are just generic statements. So before, when he said when he said was that the Night Lord, it wasn't referring to what we did in the tutorial. It was just one of the loops.
But I only have so much patience. What if my sword come back and...
Yeah, I will. Cool. Anything up here if we jump up? Yeah, there's certain things that lead me to believe that there's supposed to be more freedom of movement in this game compared to Elden Ring. Can I make it up this? Not really. I don't have any currency, so... I just, want to know what happens. Alright, so you come back right here, and I don't have a compass. Yeah, there's no indication of any lost stuff to pick up, so... just doesn't matter. Hey, what are you doing in here?
When do we fight?
Do you move around? You didn't. Alright, let's look at visual codex. Gameplay stats. The guide contains elementary explanations and fundamental concepts. The handbook contains detailed explanations concerning combat. View records of past expeditions via result history. Playtime with no expedition time. I think I set a record on that. Oh, cool. Okay, so these are the characters. We kind of know a little bit about them, but they tell us stat information, which is cool. So let's look at Wilder. Oh, these are different details than before. So Recluse has D HP, which makes sense. She's going to be a ranged fighter. A FP, but not S. Probably because of her ability. C stamina, strength, dex, pretty low, and arcane is not that high. So that's interesting. But faith is S and intelligence is S. I think they've co-opted. It must have been difficult from a code perspective to completely change the rules, like the number crunching behind the scenes of Elden Ring combat. So they maintained all the stats. They just kind of locked things in certain values. Like they didn't converge, intelligence and faith and whatnot. They just made it mean something slightly different in context. Yeah, nobody else has like faith or intelligence that's at all decent. Alright, so all the different weapons. I just kind of want to check the categories. Melee, range, shield, staves, talisman. Alright, let's check out what talisman they got. Okay, so a lot of these are from Elden Ring base game. I guess I shouldn't say base game, just Elden Ring. Yeah, a lot of these. In fact, I don't think I see any Is this one new? It might be. Cool. They do slightly different stuff in this, but still within the theme of what they offered in Elden Ring. Alright, tools. So Starlight Shards are here too, and a way to recover FP. And since you're not going to be buying puppets, I'm guessing that's the only worthwhile use of them. I can't read all the numbers because my camera is blocking. So you put these in a slot, and they have a maximum number. I think I understand how that works. There were the 4 slots in your item list. And when you start an expedition, let's say you have a bunch of these items, ready to go. You can start with 1 slot allocated to Starlight Shards, in which case you get 2 uses within the expedition. But maybe it's possible to do 2 slots as Starlight Shards if you really wanted. In which case you'd have 2 per slot, so you'd have 4 uses throughout the expedition if you really wanted that. That's probably what it is, something at least like that. I don't know if Starlight Shards specifically will allow for that, but it kind of seems like what they're setting up. Lots of cool weapons. I'm sure there'll be more. I don't think this is a complete list. But a lot of these, if not all of them, are from Elden Ring. Makes sense too. Like, I always thought of this game as almost being like a Hyrule Warriors to what Zelda is. But it's not quite that because of the way that FromSoft joins lore and gameplay. This is set, in Elden Ring, in the Lands Between, and so there's a reason why the same weapons are accessible, because we're in the world of these weapons. And so the lore of the weapons and everything about them remains present. So if they had just called this like a different game, Nightreign, it would have been incomplete, because it really is like an Elden Ring game. It's set in the world of Elden Ring with all the Elden Ring weapons, which is convenient for them from a gameplay standpoint. They don't have to invent an entire new arsenal of weapons and stuff. But then it also corresponds to the story related to these armaments and whatnot. Yep. So some of the differences that they might have brought in are like the Iron Eyes bow, which is new, but it makes sense to be new. Aw. This is a concept of the Fellowship. Iron Eyes Legolas. I like that. Lots of cool shields to pick from. So they kept the stats too. Like there's attribute scaling on shields, as there is in the base game. I said I wouldn't call it that, as there is in Elden Ring. But they don't really matter because they're offensive scaling considerations. I wonder if they have from the DLC the thrusting sword. Maybe that's something that'll come into play later. Unless they made a conscientious choice not to involve the DLC, as if like maybe it's a spoiler for it. I don't know. Alright, lots of staffs. Staves. Dope. Okay, cool. And so we got... Oh, wow. I saw Horaloo. Is this spelled differently? Sweet. Yeah, like the same Ashes of War and whatnot. A lot of them. Wow, that's so many skills. That's cool. And this is not a comprehensive set of magic from Elden Ring, but it's a lot of them. Incantations too. Definitely not all of them, I think. Oh, there's so many things in the guide. I might read this off screen, like maybe to start my next session. I'll load the game, read through some of this stuff, and then turn the stream on. But oh, so from here you can actually access the initial gameplay tutorial. That's a clever concept. And a guide is the detail. All right, expeditions histories involve session ID, makes sense. And then there is enemies, great enemies, treasure, and rescued allies. That's what they keep track of. Day by day. Really cool. Okay, so this is here, and I just walked right by it several times. What are you the skeleton of? Alright, I feel like I've gotten the hang of it. Now, she mentioned that there'd be someone here to talk to. Other than the player, the characters. And I haven't found that person. I don't know what that's about. I mean, she didn't say, it'd be someone different from the characters. I just presumed that when she was talking about who to talk to here, there was like a caretaker. Could have been that marionette attendant. Hey, they used the word serve in his text, so it wouldn't be too far from the truth to say servant. Yeah, what's the relic rites? Okay, so you get a relic in your possession, and then you conduct this ritual. The supporting effect of the invoked relic activates upon leaving for an expedition. Yep. Matching colors. Yeah, I noticed the colors at the Small Jar Bazaar. It's fun to say, Small Jar Bazaar. So I don't have any slots, and each of the characters have their own. Wait. And the characters have different colors. Save as preset. What? Fascinating. What's all presets? Oh, wow. I'm excited to check that out. Okay, well, let's do one expedition, and then I'll end the stream. I don't know how long they take, though. My stream is kind of coming to a natural conclusion. Yeah, I don't know how long they take. And if it takes more than like 10 minutes, my headphones might start to beep with low battery. If it takes more than 20 minutes, then I might start to blow out. my storage and whatnot with my recording. Let's just do it. Okay, so I see the name Tricephalus. Expedition. Select the boss to target on the expedition's menu. Select an expedition to automatically recruit allies targeting the same boss. Once 3 players are matched, the expedition begins. The roundtable hold is fully accessible while waiting for an expedition to commence. Great. So, team session is like you pick your buddies. Password, I think, applies the same way it does in Elden Ring, I think. Multiplayer password is like exclusive matching. Yeah, group password is like so you get matched with people from those groups more often. So there's multiplayer and single player expedition types. I could potentially do a single player expedition type just to get the hang of it. But you know, this game seems to be really designed for multiplayer. Doing a single player expedition seems a little silly. Plus, it'd be nice to just follow somebody around. Alright, so Tricephalus. So yeah, 3-headed wolf. So what was that like? Those records then? I'm not sure. So this would be the boss of the expedition, and I'll be matched with people doing the same boss, which is the first boss, that like, you know, quote-unquote tutorial boss. A many-legged beast appearing from shadow, carrying on its back a chain-link sword used to hunt its prey. Between the fangs of its many heads flicker overwhelming flames. When assailed by multiple shadows, only sacred light can hinder the hunt. I don't really have sacred light. Doing matchmaking. Okay, 1 out of 3. 3 out of 3. Yeah, I mean, the game just came out. People are going to be playing it, and it's a Friday night. Okay, so somebody else is doing Iron Eye. I'm going to do Recluse. So that's me coming into the mix. Oh, look at that. Look how cool that is. So we have a conveyance. Just me alone? Where are my buddies? What? That's why my buddies weren't there. Something went wrong. Okay, I will try again. And if it fails again, then we'll reconsider. There's all sorts of reasons why it could have been transient. There was also a timer in the screen to select your character, and there was only one other person there, so maybe something had gone wrong already. Yeah. Oh, you both want to be the executor? I get it. If somebody else wanted to be the recluse, I'd probably still pick her. Oh, cool. I wonder if the player who you are is displayed in the middle. What a cool concept to have the round table hold and then like spectral, you know, eagles to carry you into the lands between to go on your expedition. That's a neat idea. Just kind of connects these worlds. Okay, so now what do I do? I can move this thing. Oh god, look how big the map is. I don't want the short bow. Can I level up? I can, so I will. Yeah, see how fast it moves? Which is great fun. Like, that's the value of a game like this. But because it's my first time, it's kind of overwhelming to try and, like, the map is so huge. There's so much stuff to do. I don't know what to pick. So I'm happy to follow along. Oh, that's like a Carrier Manor. Okay, I like the way the items pop out. Now I understand that. Mastered uncommon armaments. I can level. Oh, it's just because they put a Sight of Grace in here. How do I get rid of the bow? Yeah, I don't want it. Do you have infinite arrows? Digger staff. Yes, please. Gives me carry and retaliation. Oh, and Academy Glintstone staff gives me Glintstone Pebble and Night Maiden's Mist. Carry and Slicer, yes please. So how do I... oh, you can pick up more than 3. I thought it was 3. Yeah, let's keep them all then. Buddies, hold on, I'm coming. I'm sorry. How do I get to where you are? Okay, there's no fall damage. Where are they? Sure, Claw Talisman, restore FP. I don't know how I did any of those things. That seems bad. Yeah, lack of fall damage is necessary for a game like this. Where'd they go? Picking up Vengeful Spirits, that's pretty cool. Yes? Carrion Glintstone Staff. I want it. What can I do with it? I am so confused how this works. Okay, I didn't totally understand that. Oh god, why are you throwing them here? That's the thing I was looking for. Help me out, buddies. Thank you. Oh, I see. You can take the weapon or the ability. It's amazing. Like, I saw that stuff enclosing us, which I'm guessing meant we had to move. Come on. The way I have no idea what's happening. I need to level up. Oh my god. This is where I gain FP back? I don't even know. Uh-oh. We're getting enclosed on. So this is where the battle's going to take place. Oh my god. So because that staff is on my left hand, I don't have both spells from it, unless I had two-handed, of course. Alright, so this is our choice. Warhawk Cold Talon, I guess? I don't know. X is discard. Are these the three that I have right now on the top, and then the bottom are reserved? No. I wish I knew. I wish I knew. I might have to do a solo run just to understand what the heck is happening, give myself time, but the thing is, even if you're not playing with people, time is of the essence by the very construction of it. Where's that site of grace they ran through? Can I see it on the map? Yeah, I see it. This is so cool. I really don't understand the armament stuff yet, but I'm working on it. I don't want these. Oh boy, I fell down. What are those noises? I don't know where they are. No, there's no way they came out. Is there? What happened to the smithing stone, though? Okay, if you guys are hanging out here, then how do I figure out... I want to equip the digger staff. Press switch and swap it with that. That worked. Is this your way of getting our attention? Okay, glintstone pebble, let's have that. And let's have the sword, and let's have... magma shot and carrion slicer. Alright, where'd you go? Did I lose you already? My buddies. Where'd you go, buddies? Still can't level up? That's surprising. So this gives me something. I don't know which one is in my left and right hands. That's the issue with this arrangement. Now, does smithing stone mean you keep that for afterwards? I don't know. Alright, where'd you go? $43. I'm like way far away from another level. Hey, you do a roll. I like that. They explode? I think they did that in Elden Ring too. I like the idea that you can climb them to do the plunging attack. I don't want that weapon. Sorry for hitting the mic there. Thank you for reviving me. Much appreciated. I died again. 2 of us are down. Come on, buddy. You got us. Fuck both of us. Get him. Get him. Revive him. It's fine. I'm at max, which means I think. Thank you. Watch out for yourself. Jesus Christ. Jesus. It's hard. I think the three of us are down now. That was a tough final boss. I assume it was a final boss. That was the second day. Okay. Wild. So I think I got to level 57? No, that's not right. That's my weapon power. So I think we're done now. So I think I can spend as much time here as I might want to. Okay, so you can report a player. Okay, so that's what that means. And if you hold something, you get a profile. Oh, Steam profile. That's pretty cool. I love that, because we're on PC, so that's why we're getting the Steam profile. But you'd get the platform-specific profile. Okay, so report profile, we got that. Cursor, what is cursor? Okay, that just moves the cursor around the screen. Yes, okay, so I see. So this is our activity, what we did. So where did we start? Here? That's where I started, maybe? That's where we ended. That was the second night, and we didn't make it past it. I definitely wasn't holding my weight, but, like, there was so much going on, I was trying to figure it out. That's one of the challenges with a magic-based character in a scenario like this, where, you know, like, I was running out of FP with using magic. So running around and just spamming attacks wasn't going to work because I couldn't figure out what the mechanism was to, you know, like restore FP. That passive ability that marks enemies and like how to use that while still trying to keep up with them while they're running around. That was tough. It might be easier for me to ease into the game with a character who, you know, does melee attacks and stuff. You know, definitely good to try though. So that was the end. I wonder if there's an icon marking our beginning. This is how we flew in. Probably. From off the map, flew in, landed here. Site of Grace. And then went here, and there's some icons for stuff. Like the weapon I got there. That's awesome. And view footprints. Oh wow, you gotta hold on, wait a second. Oh shit. Reward. I did this wrong. I wanted to not advance. I wanted to continue looking at that screen. Fire damage negation is not bad. Hey, restoring HP for allies is not bad either, with also a +3 strength. That's a great idea if you're like a big tanky character. You go up and you just like mow enemies down and heal everybody else. The thing is, I don't know if these rewards are going to be tied to the character I had when I got them, like the Recluse. Ultimate art gauge +2. Is that like a starting the session with +2? Starting the geez, what's the word for it? Anyway. Yeah, I kind of want to get some money and get something from, or is that everything I got? Alright, so I accidentally advanced. I think that was everything I got. I didn't have to pick. So now we can conduct a relic rite, I guess. Because we got a relic. We got 3 of them, I think. Alright, so everything I picked up doesn't come with me, except for the relics that I got as a reward at the end. So it's independent worlds. Stuff you get while playing, you know, in some way or shape or form, may come back to allow you to upgrade your stuff here. And once you start a new session, you know, things you have in your permanent character can manifest as starting weapons or abilities or whatnot. Expedition is the word I've been looking for. But everything is ephemeral otherwise. I'm still level 1. That's interesting, right? I'm level 1. So I kind of want to change character and see if the Wilder is level 1 and if the Wilder has... Okay, still level 1. So that leveling up that I had done as part of the tutorial was as if you were on a mini expedition. It was its own thing. And the relics I have are the same, you know, they're global. Until I make them into something and apply them to a character, maybe. But I don't want to deal with that just now. Cool, and whenever you start an expedition, you get to pick what character you do for the expeditions, so you don't have to walk around as that character. So I'll just walk around as a recluse because I like her. For now, at least. So these are my relics, and these are the characters that they could apply to. So 2 reds. So somebody took 2 reds and a blue. I believe what I got is 3 reds. So I can't fully do anybody's. As far as I know. Let's like try the... Yeah, it doesn't let you unless it's the right color. But it would for red. So something I want to know is if I can go back and view the stuff from my last session. Expeditions is going on expeditions. Waiting room, sparring grounds. Yeah, I don't know what the waiting room is. Let's go there. It doesn't seem to have anything. I don't know why it exists. Journal. That's what I was looking for. It was right here anyway. Nope, that's not what I was looking for. Result history. This is me, 2nd day. Yep. Okay. I love that this persists. I think this is a great idea that they found like a data format for your results that is small enough that it can be persisted to your character. And so what was I trying to do? I was looking at the footprints. This is exactly what I was doing. And I pressed A here accidentally. And what I wanted to do was like play, which is X. Yeah, okay. And then left button. Yeah, skip ahead. Gotcha. That's what I was trying to do. And you could advance frame by frame, move your cursor around, you could adjust the play speed. That's what that thing is on the left, play speed. Okay, got it. And then on the right, you can't interact with it. It's just a time code. I was rescued on the first day. That's embarrassing. And then I was rescued at the end a lot of the second night. So skip ahead is skipping to the things on the left. So it's not skipping like 10 seconds. It's skipping to like important moments. Okay, I understand this a little bit now. And if I zoom in, I think what it is when you look at the map while you're playing, you see these icons to give you an indication of what you get if you go there and take out the enemies. So you can kind of plan your day, or your night, I should say. Your day. It was daytime, and then night is when yeah. So first day noontide, first day night. That's the way they separate out the day. So the thing I was struggling with was like how to figure out how to swap armaments to each hand. I wasn't clear on exactly how that system worked. Of course, I need to do better in combat, and I didn't really use the map too much myself because I was trying to like follow along, and so I definitely saw my allies placing the beacons, but I didn't really look at the map myself to try and like think through what are these icons indicative, like what do they mean, what's at these locations. Like there's these pillars here with this blue flame. And I recognize it from when I was on the expedition. But I don't know what they're called and what they do. So, Sites of Grace, recover stuff. I forget what the blue flame does. FP, maybe? I think it might be FP. Alright, and if we look at... Should I add it to favorites? I mean, it's my first one. I should add it to favorites. And... maybe that's kills. It could be kills. 54 seems like a lot, though. Did I really kill 54 things? It's possible. If we add them all up, do we get 146? We get more than 146 if we add them up. So that it is the same icon though. Enemies felled is the same icon as under the individual. So that's got to be it. That's the I was participating in the. I think the way it works is if you damage the enemy that gets felled, you get credit for the kill. So that's why enemies felled are double counted or multiple counted amongst anyone who damaged that enemy, who caused that enemy to take damage. And so it's not like I exclusively killed 54 enemies. I contributed to 54 enemies being felled. Same for Day, Night, and Grimy. And that seems about right. Like, I definitely did damage to enemies that were felled, but I don't think I struck the killing blow 54 times. That wouldn't have seemed right. And I had a bunch of those armaments and the talisman, which of course I didn't need, but nevertheless I had it. And then the flask icon is what? How many flasks you have? Because my max was 3. I don't know why they would tell you that though. Like, why is that interesting to report? And then you got the runes acquired, I think, on the right. Okay. Alright, I understand it a bit more. You know, for a first time session, I made progress in understanding the core concepts. Definitely wasn't like a useful participant, but I don't think that's expected on a very first time, really. I will read more of these, perhaps offline, to start the next session. And I will continue playing. I will probably try a melee character to be a little simpler. I made the same mistake with Elden Ring. My first playthrough was an astrologer, and I'd never played a Souls game before Elden Ring. But of course, I love magic, and I'm a lot of times when I've done D&D or D&D based video games, I've done wizards and stuff. So I enjoy magic in those games. So I kind of thought like I want to play magic, and it was, the magic system is also hard to understand, and by consequence, I didn't pay as much attention to the rest of the mechanics of Souls games when learning Elden Ring from the start. So I was a bit behind because of the complexity of being a spellcaster. And eventually, of course, I overcame it. But I think that like if you start with a short sword and shield, the naive approach of just like blocking with your shield and striking with your sword over and over again can get you pretty far while you pick up the other combat mechanics. And so I think doing something like that here, where I'm a character who has easier simple path to contributing of just like whacking enemies with the sword. And then maybe if I don't utilize all their character, because I didn't use my character ability even once to regain FP. Not even once did I use it. I thought about using it, but I didn't see that symbol anywhere. Perhaps because there was too much on screen, I wasn't really able to understand it, or I wasn't looking in the right place. But that took a lot of like mental energy to be scanning the screen during combat, looking for this symbol to try and gain FP so I can cast spells. Whereas I could have just been, dodging attacks and hitting with a sword, which I did a little bit of too. So next time I think I'm going to try that more. But this was a lot of fun. I see a ton of promise to this. And once you get like in the zone where you're running through and you're picking up there was the I forget the name of that ability in Elden Ring where you have like the skulls, the black flame skulls that fly out from you, like things like that. You pick up on the map as you're running. Being better at like visual inspection and as you're moving at speed, knowing to detour a little bit to get that and to use it, and like once those things start becoming rote, then you can target the big ticket items for each day while still knowing how to pick up the appropriate things along the way, like how to quickly browse through the armaments that are shown when you open a chest, and like knowing like almost intuitively what thing to grab real quick, what to leave, because it's kind of like Diablo games where eventually you become so good, how to like mentally discard 90% of what's dropped by enemies. You don't even process it. You just like notice the one or two things that might be interesting, and then the one that you grab, and then the other one that maybe you like take a second looking at your inventory to determine if you want it, and then the rest of the stuff you just leave it. That's what you got to do in this game. And I imagine that once you get to that point of fidelity, then it'll be like really immersive and addicting. You do these endeavors, and then like immediately want to do another one right afterwards. I can see that happening. All right, beautiful stuff. Let's get one final screenshot in front of this this lovely backdrop. Cool. Thank you for joining. Thanks for putting up with technical difficulties. I will take time between streams to fix my PC setup, try and figure out what's going on with my USB ports, get everything back to the way it was before I put a new motherboard and CPU into my machine. There's some other stuff. I still got like stuff all over my apartment from when I was working on it that I got to clean up. And the back panel for the back ports on my motherboard, I didn't get the casing on because it didn't fit in my case. I gotta figure out how to fix it without blocking the ports, because if I had that panel on, I couldn't get the USB-C head to fully attach because it was too thick. So it's kind of annoying. I still got things left to do before I'm back to normal. So thanks for sticking with me, and see you next time.